He made it to 102. His daily habits will shock you. Have you ever looked at someone in their 90s or even 100s and thought, how are they still so full of life? Maybe you've even seen them walking down the street, carrying their own groceries, or cracking a joke like they're still in their 60s. And then you think of someone else, maybe even someone close to you, who didn't make it nearly that far. It's a question that touches all of us eventually. Why do some people live such long, vibrant lives, while others seem to fade far too soon? If you've ever wondered what makes the difference, you're not alone. And it's not just luck, or good genes, or some mystery no one can explain. In fact, researchers have found there are very specific lifestyle habits that many people who live past 100 have in common. The good news? These habits are simple, doable, and can be started at any age, yes, even after 60, 70, or beyond. Today, we're going to talk about 5 of the most powerful lifestyle differences between those who live well into their hundreds and those whose lives are unfortunately cut short. And no, we're not going to talk about running marathons or giving up everything you enjoy. This is about real, practical choices you can make every day that have a huge impact on how long and how well you live. Let's start with something you might not expect: how you move your body. Now, I'm not talking about heavy gym workouts or hours on the treadmill. Most people who live past 100 aren't lifting weights or doing CrossFit. What they are doing is staying gently active throughout the day. Think about it: walking to the garden, sweeping the porch, dancing to a favorite old song while making dinner, movement that feels natural, joyful, and part of life. There's a woman in Okinawa, Japan, home to one of the longest living populations in the world, who still rides her bike to the market every morning. She's 102. Not fast, not far. But she does it. And when asked her secret, she smiles and says, "I never stop moving." Staying active keeps your muscles strong, your joints flexible, and your heart working the way it's supposed to. But maybe even more importantly, it keeps your spirit moving too. It tells your body and your mind that you're still here, still needed, still alive. So whether it's a walk around the block, pulling a few weeds, or standing up during commercials to stretch, the key is to move often and move in ways that feel good. Now, let's talk about something that might be a little harder to see, but just as important: your outlook on life. Believe it or not, your mindset has a major impact on how long you live. People who live past 100 often share a common trait: they're optimistic. Not in a fake, everything's perfect kind of way, but in a grounded, hopeful way. They tend to believe that things will work out. That life is still worth enjoying. That even in old age, there's still something beautiful ahead. I once read about a man in Italy who turned 101. When asked about his life, he laughed and said, "Every day, I wake up and say, let's see what happens today." That kind of thinking, being curious, hopeful, and open, can protect your body from stress. It can reduce inflammation, support your immune system, and even help your heart. You see, stress, especially chronic stress, ages you from the inside out. It messes with your sleep, your digestion, your memory, even your skin. But when you approach life with a sense of calm curiosity instead of constant worry, your body responds by healing and restoring itself. And that makes a world of difference. So how do you build a more optimistic mindset, especially if you've had a tough life or are dealing with health issues? Start small. Keep a simple gratitude list. Even just one thing a day: a warm cup of tea, a phone call with a friend, sunshine on your face. Little joys remind us that life still has good in it. Talk kindly to yourself. And maybe most importantly, surround yourself with people who lift you up, not drag you down. That brings us to the next key difference: connection. Loneliness, sadly, is a silent epidemic among older adults. And it's more dangerous than many people realize. In fact, some studies say being socially isolated can be as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Yes, really. But when you look at people who live well past 100, almost all of them have strong social ties. Family, friends, neighbors, even if they live alone, they find ways to stay connected. There's a village in Costa Rica where many elders live into their hundreds. Every evening, you'll find them sitting outside together, talking, laughing, playing music. It's not about having a huge group of friends, it's about having meaningful relationships that make you feel seen, valued, and supported. If your circle is small, that's okay. What matters is quality, not quantity. Maybe it's a weekly call with your grandchild, chatting with your neighbor while watering the lawn, or joining a local group, even an online one, where you can share stories or hobbies. Staying connected keeps your mind sharp, your heart full, and your life rich with meaning. And here's a little secret: when you reach out to others, you're not just helping yourself, you're giving them a gift too. Everyone wants to feel connected. You have wisdom, humor, and life experience that someone out there would be lucky to hear. Don't keep it to yourself. So we've touched on movement, mindset, and connection, 3 powerful lifestyle differences that add years and quality to your life. And the best part? You don't have to be perfect. It's not about being a health guru or living like a monk. It's about small, consistent choices that add up over time. Let's keep going. There's another habit that's just as important, maybe even more so, especially as we age, and that brings us to something that's so simple, yet so often overlooked: how and what we eat. Now, before your mind jumps to strict diets or giving up all your favorite foods, take a breath. Because this isn't about restriction or calorie counting. It's about nourishment. And the truth is, the people who live the longest aren't living off kale and protein shakes. They're eating real, wholesome food, meals that bring comfort, tradition, and nutrition all at once. In places known for longevity, like Sardinia or certain regions of Greece, meals are often slow, homemade, and shared with others. And they're full of plants. Vegetables, beans, fruits, nuts, these are the stars of the show. Meat is there, sure, but it's more like a side character than the main event. And sugar? It's not banned. It's just not everywhere like it is in so many processed foods today. But it's not just what they eat. It's how they eat. Slower. More mindful. Meals are a moment to pause, to enjoy, to connect. That alone helps with digestion and satisfaction. It's a big reason they're not overeating or struggling with food the way so many people do today. They listen to their bodies, not the clock or the scale. You don't have to move to a Mediterranean village to adopt this kind of lifestyle. It can be as simple as adding a few more vegetables to your plate, swapping sugary drinks for water or herbal tea, or cooking just one meal a day from scratch. Even better, invite someone to share that meal with you. It doesn't have to be fancy. A bowl of soup with a friend beats a fancy dinner eaten alone in front of the TV every time. And if cooking feels overwhelming, don't be afraid to simplify. A can of beans, a handful of spinach, a few tomatoes, a bit of olive oil, boom, there's a meal. The point is to feed your body the kind of fuel it understands. Food that's alive, not processed beyond recognition. But food isn't the only thing that fuels a long life. Let's talk about something just as vital, and sometimes even more neglected as we age: purpose. You know that feeling when you wake up in the morning and know there's something to do, something to look forward to? It might seem small, watering the plants, calling a friend, working on a puzzle, but that sense of purpose is powerful. In fact, it's one of the strongest predictors of longevity. In one study, older adults who said they had a clear purpose in life were significantly more likely to live longer, and not just in years, but in vitality. They were more mobile, less depressed, and even had sharper minds. Purpose doesn't have to mean saving the world or running a business. For many people who live past 100, their purpose is beautifully simple: tending to their garden, helping raise a grandchild, passing down family recipes, caring for a pet, or mentoring someone younger. It's about feeling like you matter. Like your presence makes a difference. So ask yourself, what makes me feel useful? What brings me joy, even in small moments? What would I miss if I couldn't do it anymore? The answers to those questions are your guide. And if you're thinking, well, I'm not sure I have a purpose anymore, let me gently say, you absolutely do. Sometimes we just have to look a little closer. Purpose evolves as we age. You might not be working a job anymore, but your stories, your kindness, your care, all of that still matters more than you know. Try something new. Volunteer. Write letters to family. Share your knowledge online. Even the act of being curious about life again can spark something inside you. The fire is still there. It just needs a little tending. Now, if there's one more thing that ties all of this together, movement, mindset, connection, food, and purpose, it's rest. Real, healing, restorative rest. And I don't just mean sleep, although that's a big part of it. I mean giving yourself permission to slow down without guilt. To sit quietly. To breathe deeply. To let your body and mind recharge without always being productive. One of the biggest differences in those who live longer is that they don't see rest as laziness. They see it as necessary. In many long-living cultures, there's built-in downtime during the day. A nap, a pause, a quiet walk. It helps lower stress, protect the heart, and improve memory. And it doesn't require a prescription or a doctor's visit. Just a little space, a little stillness. So give yourself that gift. Let the sun hit your face in the morning. Close your eyes for 10 minutes in the afternoon. Put your feet up after dinner. These small moments of peace aren't wasted time. They're healing time. And your body will thank you for it. By now, you can probably feel it. Living a longer, fuller life isn't about chasing youth or avoiding every illness. It's about how you treat your body, your mind, and your soul, day by day. It's about showing up for life, even the small, quiet parts of it, with intention and care. Let's keep going. There's still one more powerful difference that makes all the difference, because this last lifestyle difference, though it might not get as much attention as diet or exercise, might just be the quiet foundation holding everything else up. It's attitude. Specifically, how you handle change, challenges, and the unexpected twists of life. People who live past 100? They've seen it all. Wars, losses, heartbreaks, illnesses. But somehow, instead of letting life wear them down, they found a way to bend without breaking. There's a kind of emotional flexibility in them, a resilience that says, I may not like what's happening, but I'll find a way through it. They don't deny their pain. They feel it, process it, and then keep going. That ability, to adapt, to keep hope alive, to adjust rather than resist, makes a huge difference in how the body ages. Because emotional stress, especially the kind we carry around for years, doesn't just live in the mind. It seeps into the body. It can raise blood pressure, mess with sleep, lower immunity, and speed up aging. One woman in her late 90s once put it perfectly. She said, I don't get stuck in anger. It's like laundry, wash it, rinse it, hang it up, and move on. Isn't that beautiful? She didn't pretend she never got upset. She just didn't live in that place. So, how do you build that kind of emotional strength, especially when life has thrown its share of storms your way? Start by giving yourself permission to feel everything, grief, frustration, even fear. But then ask, what can I still do? What can I still enjoy? What's one thing I can be thankful for today, even if it's small? And lean on others when you need to. Being emotionally strong doesn't mean doing everything alone. It means knowing when to ask for a hand, or a hug, or just someone to sit with you and say, yes, this is hard. But you're not alone. Over time, those small choices, to feel, to adapt, to reach out, become habits. And those habits become your emotional armor. Not the kind that makes you hard, but the kind that helps you walk through life with a softer, wiser heart. So let's take a breath here. We've talked about a lot, haven't we? And yet, when you really think about it, these 5 lifestyle habits, moving your body gently and often, nurturing a hopeful outlook, staying connected to others, eating with care, and finding purpose and peace through rest and resilience, they're not just about adding years to your life. They're about adding life to your years. It's never too late to make changes. Not at 60. Not at 70. Not even at 90. The body is always listening. The heart is always healing. And your spirit? Well, it's a lot stronger than we often give it credit for. And maybe right now, you're thinking, I don't know where to start. That's okay. Just start where you are. Pick one thing. Maybe it's a short walk in the morning. Maybe it's calling someone you love. Maybe it's choosing an apple instead of a cookie, or writing down 3 things you're grateful for before bed. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. These small steps? They matter more than you think. And they build on each other. Over time, they become a rhythm, a life that feels fuller, calmer, more grounded. A life you can be proud of. And if you've already been living like this, if you've already embraced some of these habits, then you're already ahead of the game. Keep going. Keep showing others what's possible. Because every choice you make sends a message that growing older doesn't have to mean fading away. It can mean shining brighter, loving deeper, and living more freely than ever before. So here's a gentle reminder, from me to you, you're not too old. It's not too late. And your best years don't have to be behind you. They can be right here, right now, waiting for you to step into them with open arms. If this conversation made you feel inspired or reminded you of something important, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts or your own healthy habits in the comments below. Have you known someone who lived a long, full life? What was their secret? Let's learn from each other. Let's build a community that lifts each other up. And if this video helped you or touched your heart, don't forget to give it a like. It really does make a difference. Subscribe to the channel for more honest, hopeful content just like this, because your journey matters and you don't have to walk it alone. Here's to living your best life at any age. To dancing a little more, laughing a little louder, and loving every day we're given. You've got this. And I'll be right here cheering you on. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.